5 Tactica is a great game. This game is way better than Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. I will have a spoiler-free section first. There will be a 10-second warning before the spoilers. If you're still there, after that, then it's your fault, OG. First, there's the gameplay. Persona 5 Tactica is a covered turn-based RPG. With all the sneaking around cover done in Persona 5 games, I think this type works well. Weaknesses are removed and now each type has an effect. For example, wind blows enemies away, fire will drain health, and lightning will make enemies unable to move. Of course, this doesn't only affect enemies, because shadows will use moves like that on the characters. I have zero clue what despair does in this game though. I would always inflict it because Joker was in my party, but I don't remember it doing anything. The main thing in this game is getting behind cover. If a shadow or a character isn't behind cover and they get hit, then the one who hit them will get an extra attack and deal extra damage. There are a few ways to get an enemy out of cover, one of those being wind attacks, like mentioned before. There are also a few skills that will blow the shadows away without using wind. Lastly, there's meleeing, which will knock the enemy back. I found the system cool because I would get a shadow out of cover by using wind or a melee attack, and then have another character as a shadow while it's out of cover. Then I'd abuse another new system that this game has. Triple threats acts like this game's all-out attack. Once you get a shadow out of cover, they will be downed, and the 3 party members must surround the shadow in a triangle formation, and the one who knocked the enemy will initiate the all-out attack. The cool thing about this system is that you can surround other non-downed enemies and it will hit them as long as the downed shadows in that triangle as well. This system I really enjoyed. It was addicting to down an enemy and then find the best way to surround it and other enemies around it. Also, this counts as a turn for the one who initiates the attack, so the other party members can down another enemy and do it again. This gameplay loop by itself is fun, but the game adds stage gimmicks and different enemies types to mix things up. The different enemy types are shared across all the kingdoms, while stage gimmicks tend to only be in one kingdom. Kingdoms acts as this game's version of palaces or jails, although unlike both of those, there is no exploring. Tactica has a very linear design. After beating a level, you can go back to the hideout and fuse personas and buy weapons, but that's about it. After that, you just fight more. I was personally fine with the system. I felt like there was too much filler in Persona 5. Tactica is just straight to the point. Speaking of personas, there's a different persona system. Instead of fusing personas for Joker to switch through, there's only one extra persona that can be equipped. Joker doesn't even switch between them. The abilities of the persona are just added to his persona, but this system doesn't only apply to Joker. All the Phantom Thieves can equip an extra persona. Although I think the way the player gets personas is kinda stupid. The only way to get new personas is to either fuse them or get them by a random chance after battle. I did mention enemy types, but now it's time to get into them. There are these skinny dudes with muskets. They're the most common enemy in this game. They aren't that strong, but will mess you up if you're out in the open. Then we got this buff dude. They only melee, but if they're hit, they'll attack during the player's turn. This can be easily countered by making them come out in the open with an attack that is long enough for them to be unable to reach the player. When they're in the open, you can down them and then triangle everywhere. We got these short MFs with a drum. These guys are pretty harmless. They can attack, but it's like piss drizzle damage. Their main purpose isn't to fight, they're mainly there to just heal and give stat increases to their fellow shadows. These guys are easy to take out, however, if you're trying to take out a bigger enemy, they may pose a problem by healing them. Last enemy we got is a sumo wrestler dude. He'll lift enemies and throw them into the general vicinity of the party members. This is a little annoying for some sections, but once he runs out of dudes to throw, he's pretty easy. His only attack is a rock that can be easily avoided by hiding behind cover. I think these different enemy types are okay. The differences are big enough to make dealing with each enemy type feel different. Some people may have an issue with its length. It's 20 hours long. I think the short link complements the game, but I know there are a lot of people who don't want to spend $50 for something that's less than 50 hours. Alright, time to get into spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, then just know this game is amazing and I recommend it. Spoilers in 10 seconds. If you don't want them, click off. The story is so freaking good. I don't know what they were thinking when they were making Kingdom 3, but it was so good. They threw all the best story points into this chapter. They revealed that there was this girl named Eri who's besties with Toshiro, and then that arena is his persona. That is so wild. This reveal hit me so hard because they waited till the end to reveal it. I felt because Kingdom 3 was so good, 4 felt kind of disappointing. It was still good though. Final Battles cutscene was really cool. They thought hard about how to make Toshiro a playable character without messing the game up. Toshiro is forced in the party, but he's an extra character, so now you have 3 characters that you can pick, and Toshiro. Toshiro crits and the other 3 characters can do a triple threat. I also like how you can see why Arena is designed the way she is. The parts that are covered, like the eye and the arm, are both parts that were injured on Eri. The bosses and who they were was pretty cool. Kingdom 1 has Marie, who is Toshiro's fiance. Kingdom 2 has his father. Kingdom 3 is literally just evil Toshiro. And Kingdom 4 is a random god that they threw in there. None of these bosses were hard, but they were great nonetheless. And yeah, I think that's about it. This game is badass. I recommend it.